a spectacular new luxury Audi. I would call it Audi A9. The name is not yet decided, but if you also join me on Audi A9, put it in the comments and support it. Well, maybe it will be called something e-tron, we don't know, but what is clear, although it is a prototype so far, this car will somewhat be real. A lot of elements we see here today will be in this luxury Audi in 2024, and it will be something above the Audi A8 and all electric. Let's start in the front. We can see this new styling here behind this plexiglass layer, and this is also illuminated from the top part, so the inside of the grille looks more three-dimensional. The Audi rings, however, are a little bit more subtle now and also illuminated, and this kind of formula where the ring meet themselves basically here is reflected in the headlamp unit, because they use this kind of this shape. This comes basically from the Audi rings. Very slim integration right there. What is this vehicle? The hood here is actually quite short because it's all electric. You don't need 8 cylinders in it. However, due to this design clue here, this line is really long. The hood itself looks longer than it actually is. Wheels, 23-inch, really massive. This, of course, I mean, nowadays this can be real, absolutely. A couple of years back, you would only see these wheels in concept vehicles. Well, digital cameras became mirrorless, and so do the outside mirrors here. This is, of course, a camera mirror, then projecting an image to the inside. Length here, 5 meters 35 or 211 inches. Wheelbase is actually a little bit longer than an A8L, so than an A8 long wheelbase. And this is also the solution to bring a lot of space on the interior. This kind of futuristic element right here, look at that, how the glass is being split. This will be something we will find in the final vehicle. So you have a kind of panoramic element above that, and the window will be lowered right here. This will bring more conceived interior space when you look from the inside to the outside. Also, you can see Audi wants to make their new luxury EVs really design-wise, appealing, and not say, okay, form follows function and that's it. They have a really stretched roofline, rather following old GT car. When you compare it, this is more a design object, but yet at the same time it will have space on the interior. They want to kind of find a compromise and not say, okay, EVs have to be practical and that's it. So you also have a strong shoulder line right here, and you also have this overlapping wing, kind of glass wing, and the trunk will be open just like this. So the interior space will be separated also in a rather classic sedan style. So your first impression, what do you think about design? And once again, let's call it Audi A9. I'm not sure if they will, but we'll try. Looking at the rear, rather sinister look and definitely very spectacular once again. The tail lamps, really slim, integrated. And one of my favorite features recently also from that open GT concept. Here, look at these red Audi rings here. Rather small, but a really cool design element because they're once again illuminated. And this will be a feature of future Audis indeed. Then, looking here in the lower part, this is goes really deep in there. Look at that. So the air is also being channeled from the front to the rear. And as for facts and figures, 120 kilowatt hours will be the battery, delivering a range of around 750 kilometers or 450 miles. One electric motor in the rear, one in the front. Over 700 horsepower and 4 seconds something will be the acceleration figure, so very, very powerful. And as for recharging, they use the technology of the Porsche Taycan or the Audi e-tron GT, 800 volt structure, and that means 270 kilowatt of recharging power maximum. So in about 10 minutes you can recharge like 300 kilometers or 190 miles. For example, here with this interesting charging flap that opens also in a suicide way. And yeah, you can open it with using the force or trust the Audi guy in the background with a remote control. Well, an early prototype vehicles sometimes have very interesting features or also sounds. But listen here, when the flap is closing, listen carefully. Here, did you hear the last sound? To me, totally Space Invaders, isn't it? Well, you thought the exterior is spectacular. Wait for the interior. You know, it's a quick vehicle, 4 seconds in the acceleration figure, but Well, the doors take a little bit longer. Here in the suicide way, this opening, of course, this gives us a really great look to the interior. This is one of the elements that will not be included in the final vehicle. There we will have the doors in a classic way in the rear. But we have the chance right now to take a great look to this living room atmosphere in the interior. As for suspension, by the way, active air suspension, scanning the road ahead, so that the passengers on the inside always have a great comfort level, and also rear axle steering, because that way we can have this enormous wheelbase. At the same time, the car is maneuverable. So this is actually the secret then to allow this kind of interior. And the interior materials, this is really exciting. We see a lot of fabric right here. This interior is also without any animal skin. This is very important, and definitely Audi is going in that direction, as all the other premium manufacturers are doing it right now. Yes, I've won, finally. And then here on the inside you can also see a lot of wood is being used. In this case then also sustainably sourced, so there's no wood loss or tree loss overall then on the long run. Interesting also, and there they obviously listen to our community once more. Look at that, this is here a real climate dial. So we have this, super futuristic vehicle, but we can still touch that and turn it. This is actually really, really cool. Glad that we have it. Otherwise, a lot of, screens, capacitive stuff, and also, like eye detection. We will soon show that to you. And this has also another special function that is coming up. We will be able to turn it also kind of with the force. Then here, look at that. Recycled materials for the floor, like from old PET bottles, and also fabric seats. There will of course be seat belts, and what you cannot see, the airbags will all be in the seat, because at the moment there is no steering wheel. There can be a steering wheel. How that one appears also soon to come, but for that reason everything is integrated there in this very seat, so it's kind of like an airbag seat. The final vehicle will have seats that are a little bit higher. So you see here, this is not like the most ideal seating position here. I have enough space above my head with this huge panoramic screen, and this has such a clean living room atmosphere. And this is also one topic of the future. Cars will be more like living rooms. This is supposed to have level 4 autonomous driving. What is level 4 autonomous driving? It's autonomous driving in almost all situations. Just level 5 is above that, where it says like always and everywhere, and level 4 is almost everywhere. So because we can also still drive this car ourselves, soon to come. This is like, once again, like a wooden board. We will also have projection possibility. I would say let's take a look at that. So we start here in the autonomous driving mode, and for example here, I already have a lot of legroom, but we can also move the seats backward, both actually in this more like sleeping or relaxing or lounge position like this, and I can watch the stars, for example, or watch like a cinema here, and that's really cool actually. But then I cannot reach here the haptical controls, like, what's that? But they have a solution for that. So you can use gesture control then, here like this, like you would turn it actually. And this is not done by remote control or something. This is really reacting to my hand, so I can turn like left or right, and then it turns the wheel actually like I would turn it myself, and by using the force. Or use this command like this to toggle the menu to switch through different controls, like the seat control or seat heating or something. So it's a very interesting solution. I'm not sure, it needs to kind of learn your hand movement. Sometimes this works better, sometimes worse. But an interesting solution to still have, like the combination of, something without touch and still offering something that you can touch something. Depends on. What do you think about this, that solution right here? And while I'm in the sleeping position here, I can also pet the plant. So this is a real one, by the way, also with a little bit of water drops inside there. And this is like a cartridge. You can also replace it maybe with another plant or something. Or with perfume, that would also be possible. But I mean, the plant is quite fancy here, isn't it? And what's also fancy, well, that might remind yourselves a little bit like, like a dentist experience here, like, and you know what I mean when you take a look at this one here. So I can press this button, and then the whole middle console goes forward, and I have a small mini bar here. This would be then here for the water spout. And that really reminded me, like these dentist chairs where You can have the water right here, and then, yeah, but let's rather not think of a dentist experience, but rather like, you know, let's think of the stars, you know. That's also a good tip when you are in the dentist. Just imagine something good like with palm trees and Paradise Island and something. You might have heard of these laser TVs where everything is projected, and the same thing is happening here. This wooden panel is used as a screen. You do not have a separate monitor. This is now a demo type, and it looks actually kind of crisp, and you can have movies on that, you can have the GPS on that, or maybe your favorite music. They will also work with personalization, so you get in the vehicle, oh, that's Thomas, so put on the classic trance tunes, for example, you know? Yeah, let's do that. And also you will have speakers that are just audible for the individual seat and not for everyone. That might be a very good solution, you know, for the spouse situation, you know, where you're not really keen on hearing each other's music. You know what I'm talking about. But here, let's focus on this one. You can actually see, you know, real movie shots, for example, and then here the GPS, and everything is showing kind of a transition. It is kind of sharp, but of course a real monitor would have a better background because you so much still see the wood. I would like to know from you guys, would you rather see this kind of solution, or would you rather prefer a classic monitor? It's maybe also the same thing you think at home. This, by the way, here you can see these elements right here, and they are being activated by eye tracking, and that really works. It's kind of like, yeah, it's very interesting. So at the moment here, trip is selected, but then we have these eye trackers right there, and when I move my eyes to the right side, have you seen that? Music appears, and I can kind of select it then by pressing with my hand in the left panel here. So this is kind of like a capacitive area. We can also have this here with 3 different icons, for example, and this could also be very well a Homer Simpson game, like eyes right, music appears, eyes left, trip appears, eyes right, eyes left, eyes right, eyes left. You see that? And when I activate it, it becomes even more clear. Trip here, then I look to the middle, I activate the ambience, look to the right, I can activate the music. So this works really flawlessly. Yes, we have a lot of interesting new features with this vehicle. A lot to, you know, have something to do with the autonomous driving, but come on. After all, we want to drive the car ourselves. At least I want. Tell me about you. And then also with eye tracking, I look to the symbol there on the left side. This is kind of like a steering wheel symbol. I select once again with a wood panel. And now I can once again use the force. And once again, this was not staged with remote control or something. This is a live demo, and it worked. And obviously, I've been a very good Padawan and learned how to control the force. So, I have to think about my lightsaber color, though. Yeah, I have to do a video on that. But here now, I have the steering wheel, and this was an interesting function right there. And this reminds us a little bit of the new Tesla Model X and S, the yoke steering wheel, but it's still closed on the top part. I think that's also better because you can also grab around like this. And yeah, this kind of feels really racy now. I cannot see so much from the screen behind it now, but I have everything now in my line of sight here with the digital instruments, with a small screen, everything I need basically. And the final seating position will again be a little bit higher so I can see more what's happening on the road. But I would say, let's take that one out for a spin. I can't? Come on, guys. Really? Well, if we can't drive ourselves today, damn it, then we can at least show you once more how the steering wheel is being retracted in this case. There was also this other video we recently did with the Skysphere concept, this Open GT, where the steering wheel had another function. So you can also watch that video then later on when we finished with this one. Goodbye, steering wheel. Oh, I just want to drive you now. Oh no. Yeah, but then again, this is the coolest thing happening now, because the wood veneer returns. There we go. Here once again you can see this open room atmosphere with all doors opened. And this is missing here, testing the rear bench, and it's actually quite cozy. But the thing is, this is basically now premium economy here with a lot of legroom. But business class, or first class if you want to take it that way, will be in the future the front seats. Because of the autonomous driving functions, you will have more space in the front, and of course you have the view to the front. So what is being the chauffeur seat right now in the rear. This will definitely change with the autonomous EVs in the future. Very interesting automotive industry aspect as well. And this bench that goes all the way through might also have some other practical use cases. What practical use cases I could think of right here now? Now for you, it's time to check out other videos here on Autogefühl with Thomas. For example, the Open GT concept by Audi and the final competitor, which is already on the market, the Mercedes EQS. This is also, of course, one of the competitors of this vehicle we will see in 2024. Will it be called Audi A9? I really hope so. Not sure it will be, but again, it's also your task to use the comments what name this car shall have.